Hey, how are you doing? Hey, guess what, guys? We're going to talk about the Fallout TV series, not the game. I just wanted to hold that up there to let you guys know that I have the game. Yeah, so let's talk about the show. Okay, let's do this, guys.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. So I did binge the Fallout TV series this past weekend on Amazon Prime, and I just want to give you my quick thoughts on Fallout, the TV series or the streaming series, whatever you want to call it, the Fallout series on Prime Video. So look, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan. Yeah, I have the game. I thought I had Fallout 3 in New Vegas back there, but I guess it must have got lost in the shuffle, or maybe I lent it out to someone and they didn't give back, or I sold it or something. But I swore I had those games, but that's neither here nor there. I played the Fallout games, never really kind of like dive deep. I'm not the biggest Bethesda fan. Like, I like their action stuff. I like their Wolfenstein. I like the Doom game. Never really got into Bethesda RPGs. In fact, the only Bethesda RPG I ever actually played and actually like finished was Starfield. I'm also a big sci-fi guy, so that might have a lot to do with it. I can never get into Elder Scrolls. I definitely can never get into Elder Scrolls, but I just never got into Fallout. I mean, I never even played this game. Right, like I played Fallout 3, wasn't a fan of it. New Vegas, and not a fan of it. I just don't like those styles of RPGs. I'm more of a JRPG fan. But when I saw the trailer for the Fallout series, it definitely caught my attention. I was like, oh, this looks authentic enough to what I know from the game. So, needless to say, I dived right into the show, mostly not knowing a whole lot about the game universe. I know the basics. I know about the Fallout shelters. I know about the bombs and, just the basic stuff, the Pip-Boy, and like all the basic stuff. So I went in, for the most part, knowledgeable, but also going into this pretty much for the first time. And I really enjoyed what I saw. The first episode did a really good job of hooking me and getting me to know these characters in the vault. And then we go on the adventure, and one thing leads to another, because it starts off very simple, where we have raiders attack the vault, and then Lucy's going to find her dad because her dad was kidnapped, and that's basically the whole story. And from there, we get into basically this thing with the MacGuffin of this scientist who has like something that everybody wants, and he's being hunted by all these different people, and they all come together toward the end, and it really keeps the story moving on. You have three main characters within this series. You have Lucy, who's the female protagonist. You have Maximus, who is the male protagonist and love interest, kind of. And then you have Walton Goggins, who plays the Ghoul. He probably has the most interesting story. You learn a lot about him from the flashbacks. The other two also have interesting stories, but you're kind of learning more about them as it goes. But Walton Goggins was the one that I wanted to follow the most, because he's the one that we start the series off with. And we really want to follow like what happened. There's a lot of stuff in this series that you're watching and you don't really know what the hell is going on. Like, okay, the bombs dropped 200 years ago. How is this person still alive? Or this person said, hey, the bombs dropped when I was a kid, so how are you still alive? That's 200 years ago. So there's so many different things, but the good news is, like, it answers those questions for you by the end of the last episode. By the end of the last episode, a lot of the loose end story threads all get tied up nice and neat, and it makes it that much more appealing. Like, I want a second season, like, really, really bad. If there was a season 2, I would have jumped right into season 2, but unfortunately there's not. We're gonna have to wait. Hopefully it gets renewed for a season 2. But I really liked how all the story threads came together. Stuff that you thought you knew, you didn't really know. There's like this mystery revolving around what's going on with the Vault and Vault Tech and all that, all those different things. And what I also really liked about the series was it stayed true to what Fallout was. It stayed true to like the humor and some of the special things that make Fallout, with like the armor and the mutants and the raiders and like the sense of humor that Fallout is known for. They didn't try to get away from that. And really, I'm really liking everything that's going on with video game adaptations lately. Like before, video game adaptations were like so horrendous, and I'm like Tomb Raider, and I'm not talking about Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider. I'm talking about the newest Tomb Raider that came out, where it was based off the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider, which was a very gritty survival game, and they made it like this CGI F fest with comedy and all that crap. It was just horrible. Then you had the Uncharted movie, and that was just horrible. And really, it wasn't until Sonic came out where I noticed, like, oh, okay, maybe we could do something better. Sonic came out, it was fantastic. It captured the essence of the character. The director and stuff went back and redid the design to make the design more pure of what Sonic was. Then we had the Mario Brothers movie, which was also great. Then the Last of Us TV series. Then we had the Halo series, which season 1 wasn't great. Season 2 was much, much better. We have Fallout. And there's so many different things. The Gran Turismo movie that came out. So many different things. That's not even counting like the stuff on Netflix, like Castlevania, Cyberpunk, and so on and so forth. So there's been a plethora of really good video game adaptations that has been taking place in the past couple of years. And it's really, really good to see that, because for years, video games have been taken not serious, right? They take the source material and like, oh, this is a game, so we got to do some kind of stupid stuff to make it look like people can relate to the game for some reason, and they don't understand like what it means. Like, it's just stupid, you know? So hopefully this is the blueprint of you guys can do better stuff in the gaming world and make these adaptations really, really good. And that's what I'm hoping for. Like, now I'm looking forward to like that God of War series that they're planning, and some of these other projects that are in the works. Like, so now when you say like live action Zelda, I'm not cringing. Okay, well, all right, we do have a good track record. It's almost like the Renaissance now. Like, much like comic book movies in the 80s and early 90s and even early 2000s for that matter, they were very cringy. Like, they were like weren't taken serious, and it wasn't until like Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and Bryan Singer's X-Men and The Dark Knight came out, when people started like realizing, oh, we can take these things serious and actually do them justice and tell these stories right. And it was the renaissance of comic book movies. And then we saw what happened with the MCU. And so I'm hoping the video games get that treatment now. So Fallout, actually really enjoyed it. I had fun with it, had a lot of humor, a lot of intrigue, had mystery, had action, had comedy, had everything that you really want to be entertained, and it had a great story of mystery involving these characters and trying to figure out what happened when the bombs went off. So anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts on it. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Please do me a favor and smash that like button. It helps out a whole lot, and I really would appreciate it, okay? Thank you now. Until later, guys. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye, bye. Dum, dum, dum.